Hi, everyone. I'm just here with Michelle and Michelle Carpenter. My name's Martine Bouyer. We have started doing some little sessions with the Council of Eight that Michelle has had coming through in the last little while. Today, I thought we would just have a bit of a conversation about who the Council of Eight are, so that you know who we're talking to. And I'm going to explore some of the issues around soul, higher self, ego, spirit, and just see where we go with that. We're going to try and keep this to a fairly concise 20 to 30 minutes. So Michelle's just getting herself into the state now. I just need to close my door, excuse me.
We welcome you here today. Hello, Martine. Hello, Michelle.
Hello.
We have noticed that you have had some pressing questions around who we are.
Yes.
So we have given ourselves the name, the Council of Eight, as 8 is an infinity number. It goes around and around. And we are ascended masters. We are archangels. We are beings of light. We are from different dimensions. And we collectively come together in the consciousness of the quantum field to help channel directly through Michelle and other beings of light, in the hope of offering and sharing our wisdom to help humanity. Does this answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you. And just to go a little bit further, because we know there's several people often channeling Council of Eight, Council of Nine, Council of 12. And you say you've come specifically through Michelle, and I kind of get that. I guess you're part of her group soul, would you say? Or her human aspect. She is the human aspect of you. I'm not quite sure. And are you coming specifically from different energies just for this time, place with Michelle?
That is a great question. We have chosen someone like Michelle as we believe that she is a pure channel. We collectively, as energy and light beings, have come together within the space, upon the space, upon the space, upon the space. So we'd like you to think of it as think of us like a cluster of stars that come together. Stars on their own have a certain frequency. Yet when they come together, they are brighter. And we are not from the same source as what you are asking. We are from the same dimension. We are from the same light. We are from the 15th dimension. This is a dimension that is being discovered as we are channeling through Michelle. It is unknown. And we are choosing Michelle as we prefer humans who come from a realness and authenticity, a heart space, as you humans would term. And what we are hoping within these sessions, as you know, Martine, we have requested these sessions, that there is a lot of skeptical human beings out there. And we want these recordings and these sessions to show up as being the real of the real of the real. So, do you remember the old way that perhaps your parents used to watch movies? It were those really big film reels, and the reels had gone in a circle. The film had been shown through light. So collectively, we are that light, and you are the film, you are the story that is being recorded in the human plane. We hope this makes sense.
Thank you. And I really take it that because you're coming through, Michelle, you really, as well as us understanding our greater perspective, right up to the 15th dimension and further, you want it to be grounded in our reality here, our human experience as well.
That is our wish. Yet, as we have discussed previously, that humans, a lot of humans, like to choose what one would term struggle and strife and pain. The consciousness is lifting over these periods of time on the human plane. And we most certainly are willing and sharing this energy, these moments, these sessions, to help lift the vibration of people who listen to these sessions. And we would like them to be lighthearted. And you too, Martine, are part of this link. You too are part of this channel. So think of it like a TV. The old TVs that you used to just turn the knob. Nowadays you have the TVs with the remote control. You too are a part of this channel. And in this channel, thousands, hundreds of thousands, perhaps millions. This is our hope, that millions of people will be watching these downloads, these sessions. And our hope is that they will help humans to lift their vibration, their heart vibration, that after watching these sessions and these downloads, that they can walk away from their phones and their computers with a sense and a feeling and a smile, and perhaps even a skip in their step.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely. I mean, they don't call it enlightenment for nothing, do they? We do need to lighten up quite a lot, and I think humor is so important. So I had the intention of talking with you about, and I know it's not easy to put into human words, but exploring the concepts of soul, ego, personality, higher self, spirit, all of those terminologies that can be very confusing to humans. But I'm actually just thinking on my feet here and going, is there something you would rather bring through at this time?
We would like to focus on the word joy, and thank you for allowing this moment. Hence, Martine, we would like to remind you personally in this moment that you do channel too. As we are talking to Michelle, we are talking to you. And yet you question yourself. We are laughing. So, the word joy as a vibration where a human being, one human being, millions of human beings feel uplifted. And as you mentioned the word upliftment, we are wanting to shift the consciousness and raise humans' vibrations and energies by feeling more joy within their lives. It is a word that can take on many different forms. It is a word that has a high vibration. So something as simple as playing upbeat music, something as simple as walking, something as simple as talking, as you and Michelle did prior to us connecting, something as simple as texting, something as simple as driving, something as simple as listening to the birds sing, something as simple as taking your hand, placing it on your heart, and notice your heart is beating. These moments are what lift a human's vibration. These moments are what bring humans joy. Yet many humans get stuck on fear. Many humans wonder why life is so unfair. And we do notice and understand that life, lives, death, sickness, illness can be what humans term unfair. And if you break up the word unfair in fear, do you see how similar the two sound?
Mm.
And we are having a play on words, as that is what we would like to educate humans with. So think about the word joy. J-O-Y. If you were to look at the word or the letter J, it goes down and around. And at the bottom of the curve, it is not a square like an L. It is a round. O goes around. Y is slightly different, yet it flows, again going down. And we are giving these kinds of teachings so that humans can create a different perception around what joy feels like. Because each moment a human feels joy within their vibration, within their energy, within their hearts, do they realize that they are lifting the consciousness of the state of humankind? It is that simple, yet humans have chosen to not think about it for many, 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 many centuries. How simple it is to have and feel joy. And now let's look at the word joyful. Joyful. How many humans feel full or filled up with joy?
Mm.
You and Michelle recently had a conversation prior to this session that was joyful, was it not?
Yes.
There was laughter.
Mm.
There were moments of silliness. There were moments of expression. And in those moments of being silly, like a child, your vibrations both lifted.
Mm. Mm. So there's a lot of seriousness in so-called spirituality, and even the word spirituality seems to be becoming, what can I say? I feel like I want another word. Perhaps that word is just joy. I don't know, but I do feel that there's a lot of seriousness, in many spiritual journeys. But I wonder, sure, it's easy to flick to joy if you're in a fairly good space. I'm thinking of people who are really in the place where they can't even find joy, no matter how much they may want it, or they can act it but not really feel it. And how does someone in that space, and I certainly know I've been at times in my life in that space, and I know people who've been in it for years. I know one of the things could be gratitude. Finding gratitude can start to lighten the mood, but how can somebody really tap into joy when they've forgotten what it is?
This is a great question. It's persistence. It's persistent with your thoughts. So as an example right now, Michelle has a 3-legged dog that you have met called Star. Mm-hmm. And she is sitting outside Michelle's therapy room. And Michelle can hear her as you are asking the questions. And her door is not completely closed. Yet this beautiful 3-legged dog is persistent. Her tail is wagging and she's slowly pushing the door. The door is quite hard to push along the surface of the carpet. So she's either going to start barking or wanting more attention, or she's going to slightly nudge the door a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And if you notice with Michelle's hands, do you see how slowly the door may open? As soon as you get to knowing and being persistent, a coming together and an aligning happens. As she is now at the door, noticing she can hear Michelle's voice, and she has a certain cry where she seeks attention. And we find this an absolute profound moment in the persistence of humans facing and feeling, becoming persistent with one thought at a time. Think of it as nudging the door, pushing the door, pushing the door. Her dog has just given up and walked away. So humans choose to go back to this. Yet if they persist on their journeys, and we would like to honor you, Martine, in this moment, as you do persist on your journey, and we notice that you get frustrated, so you persist, and then you resist, and then you persist, and persist, and persist, and persist, and each time you're becoming more and more aligned with yourself. So humans think they have persistence. Many humans know how to focus, yet it's the feelings within the body and the heart where the follow through happens. And we are not for 1 second or 1 moment taking away that there is inner feelings of strife and turmoil that happen when somebody is hurting, or happen when someone takes their life, or happen when someone is in a car accident. We know that this brings hurt and pain. And again, we'll remind you as humans that pain has been a part of this alignment and persistence for eons and eons and eons. We too do agree with you that the word or words being spiritual has been taken way out of context, where we find that people are extreme. So this leads us to one of your questions about being souls. Souls have a knowing when they come into the earth. Each soul has its journey, and each soul has a knowing of what its lifespan and physical body is going to be when it comes into the earth's plane. Animals, trees, seeds, insects, humans. Do you know that each strand of hair has a life cycle? And yet humans resist. And each life cycle that is chosen is perfect for that soul. We hope this makes sense.
So it's a so obviously, yes, the pain is, I do believe, what gives us our depth and richness, because when I look at back at things you think you're not going to come out of, and just so devastating, you know, on a deep level that they have given you a depth and a richness. And so I guess what I'm thinking with the joy question is, it's about your intention, like choosing constantly, even if you're not feeling it, that you are moving towards joy, and you choose and intend to move towards joy when you can't actually feel it.
Absolutely. It is in the thoughts, and each time humans are able to look at one thing, it can be the tiniest of tiny things. It could be looking at a color on a page or a color on a fabric. And each time they feel into the color or they feel the fabric, it will change on a level, which will then start to help the human to feel differently. Yet it is the thoughts that humans, many humans, like to battle with. And humans, we find, with no judgment, as we do not have judgment, sometimes lack the ability to persist. We were going to use the words discipline, but discipline is not a good vibrational word on the human.
No, it's not.
It is taken way out of context. It has been something that has been or has created devastation. So again, we feel that the word persistence has a lighter vibration. So if I persist by holding the scarf and touching the scarf, what will the feeling be inside of my body? The thought in the mind goes, oh, my hand is touching the scarf. I can hear the sound of how my hand is touching the scarf. Let me stop. Let me feel what this feels like against my skin. And then a shift happens within the body. Did you notice how we brought in most of the senses? We're not using eyes, as Michelle closes her eyes in these channelings. She knows what color scarf this is. So she already has a vision and a view on what the color is. So it's changing the senses. It's changing the thought along with the senses, along with the feelings. And they work the same way. Feeling, changing the senses, changing the thought. They are all the same. Yet we know with humans, one thought or one word at a time. It is that simple. Yet there are past patterns of pain and suffering in certain families that bring the pain into these bodies. And then there are certain humans that choose to change the patterns and choose to do the work. As if we were to pose a question to you, Martine, would you say that this work has been easy for you? This work of knowing and being on a path of being righteous and self-aware and self-love from where we are, most certainly is sometimes not the easiest path. Yet it is a path of absolute enlightenment. We hope this makes sense. Martine, your sound has gone off.
Oh, I'm very sorry. Sorry. Yeah, I love the thought of the word persistence, because yes, discipline for me, and I think many others, just has a very negative connotation and makes me want to rebel, quite frankly. So I like persistence because it has a strength in it that it's a much more empowering word. Persistence and intention, I think, is another great word.
Well, look at it like this: persistent, resistant. Are you going to choose persistence for peace, or are you going to choose resistance for rebelling? You get that, don't you?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, yes. Thank you very much. I'm sort of wondering, because we have been going for half an hour, if we might just leave that other conversation for another video and just wrap this one up. I love the simplicity of the message, and I think this is what you're going to help us bring through. Very, very simple, profound concepts that can help people live their life without feeling they need to know all this spiritual stuff and learn all this spiritual stuff and climb all these spiritual ladders. And God knows some of us have done enough of that, and I'm loving the simplicity. So I really thank you for that.
We thank you, and we notice in how you delivered that last statement is notice your heaviness in the climbing. It feels heavy. This is what we are noticing with so much information that is out within the world, that there can be a heaviness when it comes to the doing of the alignment. We did not say that incorrectly. We did not say the doing of the spirituality, the doing of the alignment. And again, please notice alignment within Michelle is alignment on the outside, not alignment and then alignment. So we thank you for these very simple broadcasts and messages, as we are not wanting the, I can't be like this, I can't be like that. How does that person look like that? How does that person get to channel? There is a whole bunch of pressure in what people are choosing to do in trying to become more spiritual. To us, you are all spiritual.
Yes.
Every single one of you are spiritual. You are unique in your spiritualness, and not one specific modality. And as we know, there are thousands out there. Not one specific one is correct. Not one specific one is the right one. Not one specific one is the only one. They are all there, coming from people's places of perspective, people's places of alignment, people's understanding of what life is for them and how they can share it with the world. And we honor these individuals that are coming from a heart space. We honor these individuals like you and Michelle for giving us the time to broadcast and share these messages. We honor each and every individual that is on the human plane, poor, not poor, wealthy, not wealthy, happy, sad. We can keep going. We honor each and every single one that is on their course of life and navigating what their journey is. As each one of you get to choose how you want to navigate your lives. We hope this makes sense. We
thank you so much.
We thank you for the work that you are doing. And we thank Michelle for allowing us to channel through her. We thank you for these simple questions to help humanity. We honor you today. We honor you tomorrow. We honor you forever.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I look forward to our next talk.
Us too.